He's fast, turf is firm, and they're at the post. Racing at Santa Anita. From the outside, Lady Gregory was quick into stride. Here's Velocious moving up in the middle, moving at the rail. That's Stay in Line, who's not far away in the run to the main portion of the course. Away fourth is Issaccord, and Lady Gregory settles down in fifth. She's a length and a half in front of Tam's Little Angel, who's second last, and 2.5 to Over Attracted. As the three favorites are at the back of the field, they chase Velocious to the half-mile point. Velocious on top by a length and a half. Up on the outside, that's Song of Shadows, who's now second. Stay in Line third at the inside. Lady Gregory wide on the course with Issaccord between, then Tam's Little Angel, and Over Attracted at the back. They move around the far turn, 5/16 from home, and Velocious trying to spring the upset, leads by a length and a half. Working harder second, Song of Shadows. Lady Gregory given the green light to launch her bid. She's in the lime colors on the far outside. Tam's Little Angel is next. They're off the turn. They're in the stretch drive. Here's the favorite, Lady Gregory, down the center. Over Attracted loose for the drive with Tam's Little Angel. The favorites start to hit high gear. Lady Gregory has the lead. She'll have to hold off Over Attracted, who's rolling down the center. Here comes Over Attracted down the center. Over Attracted on Armando Ayuso to win the Friday opener, 3 parts of a length. Lady Gregory was second, Tam's Little Angel third, Velocious is fourth in 109 and 3. And in. All set. And they're off. Bad bobbles at the start for both Malibu Rocks and Mr. Leisure. Good start for the outside duo, Scatify and Concord Bridge, and they'll cross over. Scatify for a narrow lead. Concord Bridge guards the inside spot and kicks right on with it. Away in third is Majestic Palisades. It's a gap of 3 more to Spun Not Stirred, who's racing together with Mr. Leisure, and after a bad break, Malibu Rocks is far behind early. They complete the opening quarter with Concord Bridge doing battle with Scatify. They're locked up heads apart. The quarter speed was 22 and 4. A tripped out third is Majestic Palisades, 3 lengths off the in-battle duo, 2 in front of Mr. Leisure. Spun Not Stirred is at the rail second last, and 5 to the trailer, Malibu Rocks. They make their way to the half-mile point, and the leader is Concord Bridge. He's been hard used here, pressed every yard by Scatify in second. Racing in third, that's Majestic Palisades. At the inside, Spun Not Stirred is now fourth. Up to the outside, Mr. Leisure, and still 5 to Malibu Rocks. They move around the far turn now. The opening half mile complete in 46 and 1, and the battle rages on the top end. At each other from the word go, Concord Bridge and Scatify. Concord Bridge has valuable inside position and the lead with a quarter of a mile to go. Scatify tries to cling to him second, 3 back to Spun Not Stirred. He finds his best stride, tips off cover, and comes on next. Off the turn in the stretch drive, Concord Bridge is the leader. He's an eighth of a mile from home with 2 lengths to hold. Down the center of the racetrack, Spun Not Stirred has reached Scatify for second. Concord Bridge hard up the inside fence, but still well clear. And Concord Bridge will deliver on an even money promise to win it by 3 for trainer Ron Ellis. Up for second, Spun Not Stirred. Back to third with Scatify. Fourth, Mr. Leisure in 137 and 1. Second race named for Burke Williams Core Team. Folks, enjoy your afternoon at the races and welcome to Santa Anita Park. And in. They're at the post. And they're off. Level beginning. From the far outside, Mayakama gets the first call and goes looking for the lead with Princess Snow away in second while on a hold. The other 3 line up at the back with Port Ellen at the inside. The best is yet to be is between, and I'm a Joker 3 wide at the back of the group. They chase Juan Hernandez and Mayakama to the first turn. She has them stacked and packed behind her, a length in front, but a closer second now is Princess Snow as DeSormo lets her roll up alongside. Princess Snow tugs her way to the lead through the opening quarter in 23 and 2. Up to the outside, I'm a Joker is now in third from the best is yet to be, who races in fourth. Port Ellen is at the rail. The mid-race move lands Princess Snow a length advantage. Mayakama is second from the rail. Port Ellen now joins an outside running I'm a Joker for third. And in between horses is the best is yet to be. Last of the 5, but not far away. No more than 2.5 lengths from first to last through a 46 and 4 half mile. They swing to the far turn. Princess Snow has the lead by a length and a half. Mayakama second. 3 wide, I'm a Joker is now third. third, Port Ellen is fourth, and the best is yet to be. They round the far turn at the 5/16, and Desormo and Princess Snow still the target. From between horses, Mayakama within the next second, three wide, I'm a Joker third. Free Sue getting ready to launch, the best is yet to be to the far outside. Port Ellen tries to get lucky at the rail, and they're on their way home. With the lead, Princess Snow, she's there with Mayakama charging at her on the far outside. The best is yet to be. 16th to go, the best is yet to be, rolling down the center. Here's the best is yet to be. Indeed, as she went last to first to win. The best is yet to be, 2.5 on top. Mayakama's in a place picture with Port Ellen, then Princess Snow in 135 flat. We're at the post. And they're off. Wheeling, but somehow not unseating the rider was Sweet Ella Ray. Tremendous job by Aguilar to stay aboard. The two favorites away first and second, with Misty Dancer shoving a neck in front, now a length in front of See Her Beauty in second. Lockmara splits horses and Blue Breeze is at the rail. Two back to Hula Prancer, and after a messy start, the trailer is Sweet Ella Ray. Half a mile from home, and up front, it's Orontes and Misty Dancer on top by a length and a quarter. Lockmara second. Blue Breeze is at the rail in third. Back to fourth goes See Her Beauty. Two back to Hula Prancer, and three more, the trailer Sweet Ella Ray. Around the far turn they race. They're 5/16 from home, with Misty Dancer doing it well at this stage. She's now a quarter of a mile from home and two on top. Lockmara is second at the rail. Blue Breeze third. See Her Beauty wheels widest of all, and they're on their way home. Light handling here from Orontes on Misty Dancer. An eighth of a mile out. She's well clear here, and she's finding plenty. This is all about Misty Dancer on the board at even money. She'll report home a decisive fourth race winner. Up for second, See Her Beauty. Back to third, Lockmara. That's Misty Dancer in front. Second is See Her Beauty. Third, Lockmara. Fourth was Blue Breeze in 105 and 2. Acta, trifecta, superfecta. Daily double, pick 3, late pick 5, and an all-turf pick 3. It's up next, and it they're all in line. And they're off. Outside, Don't Swear Dave was a quick into stride. One flew south, is moving at the rail and splitting horses. Here's Delmar Jerry on the go. Jetivator comes away in the top flight. Delmar Jerry and Jetivator 1-2 as they link up with the main course. One flew south is down at the inside in third. Two better than Don't Swear Dave, who's now up to fourth. Moving at the rail, that's Took Charge. Gypsy Tears is between horses. Back from there, it's Count of Amazonia. And Spaliato is last of all as they chase Delmar Jerry. 22-4 for the opening quarter. Delmar Jerry and Tyler Bays to the far turn on top 3 parts of length. Jetivator is now second. One flew south has had a good trip, third at the inside. Two back to Gypsy Tears. He just took over fourth. He passes both Don't Swear Dave and Took Charge, then Count of Amazonia and Spaliato at the back. They run to the top of the stretch. Jetivator on the outside toward the rail. Delmar Jerry hooked off their flank. Here's One Flew South with his run. These three across the course with less than a quarter of a mile to come. From between horses, it's Jetivator down the center. One Flew South at the rail. Delmar Jerry late run from the last to Spaliato. Final 16th of a mile. At the inside, Delmar Jerry still has the lead. One Flew South with one final push. Delmar Jerry just in front. Delmar Jerry won it. Delmar Jerry turned back. One Flew South, but Spaliato was up for third. Then it was Jetivator fourth in 115 and 2. Smoke 'em Hot Girl. Now Made to Move. Coconut Girl. Draw on the outside, Little Silver Girl will complete the line. 1 mile the trip, ready now for the late pick 4. And they're off. Very bad bobble at the break from My Ileana, 3 or 4 lengths slower than the others. Good start for Mrazek's Old Dream in the middle, moving out the rail. Made to Move is on the go. And here's the favorite, Smoke 'em Hot Girl, joining the party, 3 wide into the first turn run. Up on the outside, it's Coconut Girl, then it's Little Silver Girl. After the bad break, My Ileana is at the back of the field with Cohart as they chase the speed of Mrazek's Old Dream. Mrazek's Old Dream closed as the favorite and leads by a half a length over Coconut Girl, who's now second. Made to Move backs off to race in third. The quarter time was 23-1. Up to fourth is Little Silver Girl, working 4 ahead of Smoke 'em Hot Girl. She's racing together with My Ileana. They've dropped better than 8 lengths off an energetic opening quarter, and 5 to the trailer Cohart. She's got pace ahead of her, but she's a long way behind as they go to the half-mile mark. Mrazek's Old Dream has the lead now with half a mile remaining. Leads by a length. Coconut Girl is second. At the rail, Made to Move is now third from Little Silver Girl in fourth. Starting to close ground into fifth is My Ileana. Smoke 'em Hot Girl has not been comfortable throughout. She's plummeted to last, passed by Cohart, who gets a rally together after the opening half mile in 47-2. They race to the top of the stretch. Mrazek's Old Dream tries to string them out here, a quarter of a mile from home and 2.5 on top. Made to Move is now second. Trying to get running again from the back is Smoke 'em Hot Girl. Toward the inside, Little Silver Girl. They're on their way home with the advantage. Mrazek's Old Dream. Ayuso trying to get one more furlong. Smoke 'em Hot Girl dropped to last, but is charging again and now is up to a joint third. At the rail, Little Silver Girl. It's Mrazek's Old Dream driven out. This will be a riding double for jockey Armando Ayuso. Mrazek's Old Dream in front. Little Silver Girl was second. Third, Smoke 'em Hot Girl. Up for fourth was Cohart. Then My Ileana in 142 flat. Affected, superfected, daily double, and late pick 3 wagering. Can they beat Sunset Glory? We'll find out next. Post time 34 minutes away. Post time at 4. Of Hill draws the outside and will complete the line. Son of Hill going up and in. All set. And they're off. Good start in the middle for Tahini, who heads off for the early advantage. Here's Certitude to land a good tracking spot, second toward the inside. In the middle, Vitalera comes away in third. Royal Charter is now fourth. Up to the outside, Circle of Trust, and working between horses is Sunset Glory. She's about 7 lengths off the lead. Mucho Macho Girl finds herself third last. Visually is second last, and Son of Hill is last of all as they run around the first turn. Tahini loose up top with a 2-length lead. Certitude a bit keen while racing in second. Vitalera is third, Royal Charter fourth at the inside. Followed fifth by Circle of Trust, who races outside of Sunset Glory. She's well positioned early, Sunset Glory. Kimura has her about 6 lengths off the lead while saving ground. Mucho Macho Girl is next, followed outside by Son of Hill, and lagging well back now, the trailer is Visually. That's the 9 of them with half a mile remaining. The opening half mile was 46 seconds flat after a strong quarter of 23 seconds flat. They swing to the far turn. Tahini letting it all hang loose with a 2.5 length lead, trying to stretch out the field with Certitude, now going after second. Royal Charter is third. Loose for the drive at Sunset Glory with no excuse from there. She's had pace ahead of her, and she's clear about 5 lengths off the lead as they run to the top of the stretch. Certitude makes her move to take over the lead. She'll have to deal with Sunset Glory, who continues to charge down the center. They're an 1/8 of a mile to go, and Certitude is 2 on top. Sunset Glory has her in her crosshairs now, and here comes the classy daughter of Cotai Glory, Sunset Glory, front and center to win the Friday feature at Santa Anita going away. Certitude was second, Mucho Macho Girl third, Son of Hill's up fourth in 134 flat. Eastran going up and in. All set. And they're off. In the middle, it's Smooth Over, who was quick into stride up on the outside. C-Strand looking to get over, and C-Strand has the early advantage. They're stacked across the course, trying to hold rail ground and move through as this big favorite Wishful Winker as they chase C-Strand to the half-mile point. Wishful Winker has secured that inside spot and is all the way up to challenge for control. Lucky Nia's between horses. Rebel Exis is on the outside. Then it's Cote Blanc, followed by a ridden along Jazz Spot, who's dropped better than 4 lengths off the lead. Smooth Over is saving ground while second last, and the trailer is You Better Be the One. They swing around the far turn, and up front, C-Strand by a length and a half. Ayuso keeps after Wishful Winker to stay in range while second. Rebel Exis is now third. They start to thin out. Lucky Nia's up to fourth from between horses. Smooth Over, and they're a quarter of a mile from home at 40-1. It's Alfredo Batista and C-Strand who tries to braven up. 2 on top with an eighth of a mile to go. Wishful Winker out in the chase from second, but has not made any ground yet. There's less than an eighth of a mile to go, and the leader is C-Strand. C-Strand still finding here. Wishful Winker is second, but she's out of time. It's C-Strand holding gamely. C-Strand last to win it. Wishful Winker with a late dive, but she missed. She was second. Lucky Nia was third. Smooth Over fourth. 113-1. C-Strand, the 9th race on turf, and up next. Live racing again tomorrow here at the Great Race Place. Racing forms and Targaryen. Hollywood Impact to the outside. They're in the gate. And runners away. In the middle, Targaryen gets the first call and goes looking for a clear advantage from Mongolian Altai, who's away in second. Naismith is at the rail from the gray Bad to the Bones, who's an early fourth. Tucked in fifth is the race favorite One of These Days. He's about 4 or 5 lengths behind. He's a length in front of Hollywood Impact, who lingers third last. Second last is 6 Magpies. The early trailer is Gentleman's Club. And they run around the first turn. Up front, Targaryen leads 3 parts of a length. Naismith is second. Moving at the rail, that's the favorite One of These Days to join Mongolian Altai for third. Out in the middle is Bad to the Bones. Then it's a length and a half back to 6 Magpies, who improves outside of Hollywood Impact. And well back early is Gentleman's Club. They make their way to the half-mile point. The opening quarter was 23-3. With the advantage, Targaryen. He has a length and a half edge over Naismith in second. One of These Days looks primed, but he's got no place to prove it yet. Bad to the Bones is giving up ground on the outside. Then back to Mongolian Altai ahead of 6 Magpies. At the rail, Hollywood Impact, and closer at the back, the trailer is Gentleman's Club. Around the far turn they race. The leader is still Targaryen. He's in front by a length, 3 wide. Bad to the Bones from between horses. Naismith, no place to go yet for One of These Days. 6 Magpies get started on the far outside. Off the turn and the stretch drive on the far outside. 6 Magpies tries to rally down the center. Loose for the drive. One of These Days finds a seam, and he's closing good ground. They come past the 16th pole. Targaryen, One of These Days surging to him. One of These Days, 6 Magpies on the outside. One of These Days will win it. 2 for Freysu. One of These Days beats 6 Magpies in 135-4.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Belmont Stakes Day, I should say, here at the Great Race Place. Delighted you decided to join us. And if my shirt today reminds you of one of the most impressive Belmont Stakes performances, and that would be Secretariat, then mission accomplished. Speaking of one of the greatest ever, one of the most iconic and revered morning clockers anywhere in the country is our seminar guest today. You've known him from previous seminar appearances. He always gives out great information and a lot of winners. His name, Toby Turrell. Toby, happy Belmont Stakes Day. Welcome to the seminar.
Great to be here, and we're settled in, and we don't know whether it's morning, noon, or night. By the time they run the Belmont, it'll be nighttime.
Certainly back on the East Coast, 4:05 p.m. Pacific time is when they will be running the Belmont Stakes back there at Saratoga. Of course, the weather has been a little bit inclement, but nevertheless, the Belmont Stakes field still remains intact. Let's talk about the Belmont Stakes race. Of course, California has a lot of representation. Rodriguez, Baeza, Journalism, 3 of the 8, all hail from the West Coast. Sovereignty, the Kentucky Derby as well, certainly gets his fair share of dues. Looking at that field and knowing how the wagering is going right now, who do you like best in the Belmont Stakes and why?
Yeah, and the way you sequence that chain of commentary there is really kind of my thought process coming in. You have to take 3 steps back before you do anything for today's race, strictly because of the conditions. And they were anticipated. I've got my colleagues back there, my partner, Donald Harris, my good friend, Michael Welsh. They knew what was going to happen. Everybody seemed to, but it did, and happened in a big way. It's definitely affected the proceedings already.
Having said that, of the runners that are going to take most of the billing, like Sovereignty, Baeza, Journalism, and Rodriguez, who do you think will benefit the most from the potential off-track conditions?
I don't think there's any question that Sovereignty does. He's already shown that. Might be the same track, and he's proven on it. Nobody else really is. Journalism's best races are on this kind of a surface, and I don't know what the surface will be like back there. I'm hoping my boys do. But as a fan, you have to be rooting for Journalism without any question, because nobody will ever forget Cowboy Steve of California Chrome fame and how royally upset he was. Called it the coward's way when you skipped that Preakness.
It certainly would have made for a more tremendous showdown if, in fact, there was a Triple Crown potentially on the line, but that's turf history. There's not. We've been talking a lot about Sovereignty. Let's take a look at his most recent workout, courtesy of our friends at firsttv.com. That's right. They go from coast to coast. This is on the Oklahoma training track just a few days ago, Toby, on June 1st. An easy 4 furlongs in 48 and change. This was shot at basically the apron level. And when they level out and when he levels out and comes down the lane, you'll just see how big and powerful of a horse he is. Very impressive for a 3-year-old.
Yeah, and you have to know he's not a good workhorse. I know that because Mike Welsh and, like I said, they've been back in Florida all year, and he just does what he has to. That's why I guess when he flipped the switch into the Kentucky Derby, it was the winning angle without a doubt. Now, what's interesting to me is this is on the training track. Everybody's working on the training track in the entire field except for Journalism. Michael McCarthy decided to work on the main track. But look at the power of this horse, like you said. He's just guiding this guy to just roll along there. And look at all the comments. Look at all the spectators. Todd Fletcher. There's a few of them there. I got a big kick out of that, too.
It should be a great showdown, as I mentioned, right around 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. Now, don't fall asleep on the Sanita card, Toby. The 10-race card today has a lot of outstanding value. Of course, we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But first things first, what was this morning like out on the workout tab and out on the main track?
It was a little quieter than the last couple of Saturdays, but it was fine, had a steadiness to it. We're in that complete transition right now. We have a big 4-day week of racing next week, so that'll lighten the load on the work tab. Then, of course, we have that long time between drinks before we get to Del Mar. So this is the time when, hey, let's face it, you're not dressing your horses up to do much.
In years past, Toby, I think we could all agree that the Del Mar main track was somewhat significantly different than the Sanita main track. But I think that's changed over the years because I know there's been a big emphasis on safety and basically not having 2 separate and different unique tracks. Would you agree that the Del Mar main track primarily plays almost identical to the way the Sanita main track plays in the morning?
Well, I think it does across the board with one exception, and that is the fall meet. down at Del Mar. The track is a lot tighter, and that's all because of the climate. Obviously, it's fall-like down there. There's a crispness that tightens the track up. Everybody knows it. And boy, oh boy, I clocked down there in the fall, and it's one of the fastest tracks you're going to find.
Toby, I got another question for you on Del Mar. We'll focus more on the Belmont Stakes and the San Ita in just 1 minute. But I'd be remiss, excuse me, not asking you this. Do you believe in the tides down at Del Mar? I hear a lot of handicappers talk about the impact of the tides, the ocean coming in, the ocean going out, particularly sometimes when we get some funky results down there. You a believer in the tides at all?
I grew up on it. That's all I know. That's all I know, though. And I'll never forget the only other comparison or talk I've heard on that topic is Candlestick Park. And I just won't forget hearing that, but nobody seems to pin it down. And until they do, I can't either.
Another question for you, Toby, coming back to San Ita. I asked you this question last time you were on the seminar. Now we've had a couple more weeks of workouts. Any budding 2-year-old superstars that are maybe catching your eye from the Bob Baffert barn or other barns that you haven't disclosed up to this point?
Bob Baffert brought in his first batch, per se. And quite honestly, just on physicality and scope, the magnitude there, it's like when you see them, it's like it's whoa. These horses are breathing a little different air, and it makes it exciting. I do know this: Baffert has not been shy, and that's a shock. But he said that he's maybe more loaded for this summer than any summer before. Walking down his shed row is like walking into the locker room at Dodger Stadium and taking a look at all the talent that the Dodgers have. Similar comparison, right? Oh, no question about it. It's direct. Speaking of direct, we're going to find out who Toby likes on today's excellent 10-race card. But before we do any of that, we need to introduce the third member of today's seminar. That's the substitute announcer visiting us from Gulfstream Park, Mr. Peter Aiello. He did a great job yesterday. I expect similar results from him today. He's going to provide us with the early scratches. Once he concludes with that, we'll return with Toby's selections. Stay tuned, everybody.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Great Race Place, Santa Anita Park. Great afternoon for horse racing in Southern California. We begin at 1 o'clock, first post time just 60 minutes away. I'd like to welcome our simulcast partners to the broadcast here today. If you have your programs handy, here are the program changes as they stand at this time. No changes in race 1. The rail is at 0 on the turf. The main track fast, the turf course firm. Early pick 5 begins with race 1. No changes in the first. No changes in the second. The third race starts at pick 3. No changes there. First change of the day comes in race number 4. In today's fourth race on the turf at 6 furlongs, scratch number 1, N2 Honor Bro. 1 is out. Scratch number 10, High Plains Drifter. The 10 is out. Overweight for number 12, San Andreas, 2 pounds over the listed weight. Go to race number 5 now. Today's fifth race at 6 furlongs. In race 5, number 4, Sexy Blue. Change of equipment. She goes with blinkers off. Blinkers off the 4, Sexy Blue. Scratch number 7, All in the Game. 7, All in the Game withdrawn from race 5. Race 6, down the hill at 6.5 furlongs. Scratch number 5, 3 Georges. Overweight for number 1, the Shillelagh, 2 pounds over. Change of equipment for 11, Papa Loves Vegas. Goes with blinkers on. Blinkers on the 11, scratch the 5, the 1, 2 over. Those changes in race 6. Seventh race, the Saturday feature race, the Summertime Oaks. Grade 3 runners on the main track at a mile and a 16th. Scratch number 1, Thought Process, and scratch number 6, Silent Law. 1 and 6 withdrawn from race 7. Today's 8th race on turf at 1 mile. Race 8, scratch number 2, Hudson Ridge. Number 5, Guy Named Joe. Change of equipment, he goes with blinkers off. Scratch the 9, El Ray Ray. Scratch the 12, Spy Catcher. That's 2, 9, 12 withdrawn from race 8. 9th race, first half of the late daily double. There are no changes in the 9th. Actually, that's not true. There is a change. It's an overweight for number 1, Prize Conquest, 1 pound over the listed weight. 10th and final race over the turf at a 1 mile trip. Overweight for 1, Miss Artois, 1 pound over. Change of equipment for her as well. She goes with blinkers on. Blinkers on the 1 at 1 over. Change of equipment for 4, Runyon Canyon, goes with blinkers on. Change of equipment for 5, 4, Arrogate, blinkers on. Blinkers on 1, 4, and 5. Scratch number 9, Time to Shine. That's 9, Time to Shine withdrawn. Overweight for number 10, Kitty Marin, 2 pounds over the listed weight. 13, Rehearsal draws in. There's a change of jockey. Make the jockey Abel Lescano. Abel Lescano rides 13, Rehearsal, in race 10. And scratch the 14, Gladly. That's 14, Gladly withdrawn from the Saturday finale. Those are your changes as they stand at this time for the Saturday card at the Great Race Place, Santa Anita Park. We're 57 minutes out from race number 1. Wagering windows open on all levels. The main track fast, the turf course firm. We're glad to have you with us. We hope you have an enjoyable afternoon at the races. We head back to Quigley's Corner. We'll join you just again soon for racing at Santa Anita. Good luck today.
Welcome back. We're talking horse with Toby Turrell. He's one of the most noted morning clockers anywhere in the country. You can find his work on a daily basis at casetherace.com. Toby, before we take a look at today's 10-race card coming back to us, we saw all those beautiful cars in the infield. Are you a car type of guy or are you strictly horses?
Yeah, I am a car kind of guy. I want a car that takes me from A to B.
With plenty of horsepower, right?
And no problems.
You know, both of us don't like walking. That's pretty obvious if you look at us on set. But nevertheless, let's see if we can find some walking money in race number 1, which begins the popular 50-cent early pick 5. As you heard substitute track announcer Pete Aiello say, the first race is on the turf course, 1 mile is the distance, starter optional claiming types with the turf rails at 0 feet today. We've got a field of 7. The current betting choice at 5-2 is number 5, News at 10 from the Peter Erden Barn. 7 ways you can go here, Toby. Which way you going and why?
We're going with the number 4 horse in here. Blame the Good Times and a lot of key elements. Number 1, he's cutting back to his winning to a mile, which I believe is going to be the winning move. He's had a lot of excuses in several races. He's run big races. The key here today is if this horse settles and relaxes, I do believe he'll win. It's that easy. Now, look at the jockey switch. We're going to Giovanni Franco. He has a new agent. No doubt they're going to try to be on the march here and make some things happen. Hopefully they make things happen in the opener by winning it with number 4, Blame the Good Times. The number 1 horse, Time Song, has done everything right in the morning. Good, healthy, long series of workouts. The conditioner here, Jonathan Thomas, has made himself right at home in Southern California, and he has shipped in a pretty live commodity here. The question is, does he need a race? But his workouts indicate he'll run well. So we're going to go 4 and 1 to kick it off.
As Toby mentioned, the jockey on Toby's top selection, number 4, Blame the Good Times. Giovanni Franco has a new agent. That new agent's name, Derek Lawson, longtime agent for jockey Flavian Pratt when he began his career and had all of his success. Race number 2 begins the 50-cent early pick 4, sprinting 5.5 furlongs on the main track for 3-year-old fillies in for a $32,000 claiming tag. We've got a field of 6. Number 2, Night with Lewis from the Doug O'Neill barn is the 7-5 morning line favorite. Who you like in race 2, Toby?
That's who I like. And all you need we do is look at the running lines, and you can get confident. Not only is he the fastest horse in the race, he's the class by a mile. Almond Joy is a stake winner. That's 3 races back where he won the stake. But how about keeping it real and keeping it in the moment? Cash Call is now going to be a heavy favorite in today's featured Summertime Oaks. So can't get much more of a class edge, a speed edge, etc. Taking that drop, I think they're dropping to win and cash here, I hope. Petite Treat right next to this filly. The only question here is the dirt. She ran a much better than looked race on the turf last time, had trouble with speed, and still didn't throw in the towel. So 2 and 3, and take note of the jockey. Mr. Orantes, he had quite the day yesterday.
He sure did. Won race 2 for Ron Ellis amongst many of his other good rides that he's had as an apprentice. A couple additional notes on Toby's top 2 selections. His top pick, number 2, Night with Lewis, is going to be ridden by Antonio Fresu today. Toby talked about perusing Night with Lewis's PPs. Antonio Fresu has ridden her, I should say, 2 times, both to success and hit the winner's circle. Number 3, Petite Treat, who is Toby's second selection in the race, ran against Older last time, now runs against her own age group. Race number 3, we're back going 1 mile the main track. $16,000 claimers, field of 7, Maury Line favorite number 5, Manchild at 5-2. Diego Herrera in the saddle. What say you about race 3, Toby?
Well, speaking of jockeys, we have another interesting jockey switch on the 2-horse Zimba Warrior. And another guy that's really come to hand and kind of getting a presence here, Armando Ayuso. This guy, I'll tell you what, he has just outdone himself. Look at his record at 8 years old, but his last 2 races, after winning those 2 races, are just kind of remarkable to me that he can show up like that. He had a lot of excuses in both of those losses. I don't know if that explains the jockey change, but he was coming back and was going to go buy those horses at the wire and had nowhere to go last time out. So he is a warrior. And on that note, we're going to go with him to win race number 3. Contrary Chieftain is a live commodity. He proved that last time out. I remember like yesterday giving him out at a giant number, and he just, for whatever reason, ran the worst race of his life. I think that was Santa Anita Derby Day. But ever since then, he comes back and wins by 10. Last time out, he was hooked in a wicked speed duel, still almost came back and won. And we're on that theme again of the jockey changes. Here's another one here at 8-1 on Contrary Chieftain.
The handicapping lesson to learn from Contrarian Chieftain actually applied to his last race on May 17th. First off the claim for trainer Lee Baraccio. If you're not familiar with Lee's work, one of his most deadly moves is first off the claim. Contrarian Chieftain, last time out, first off the claim, almost got the money at 35-1. Race number 4 begins at 50-cent middle pick 4 on today's 10-race card, and we kick it off sprinting 6 furlongs on the turf course for Calbred Maiden Special Weights. There are 2 scratches. Scratch the 1 and the 10 still leaves us with a field of 10. Number 2, Lord Dunmore, the well-bred son of Sir Prancelot, is a first-time gelding. However, the Maury Lane favorite is number 9, Miles Finch from the John Sadler barn. Lukewarm 3-1 favorite. Talk to us about race 4, Toby.
Very interesting race here, and an exciting one for me personally, because that's in essence, if I had to pick like a top 5 of why I love doing this, this is it. I love getting a big time price on a horse that I think is extra live.
Well, let's take a look why you think that way, because actually, courtesy of our friends at firsttv.com, you're referring to number 11, Seen by Me. This is Seen by Me's most recent workout on June 1st. That's him on the outside going nice and easy with a workmate. Tell us why you wanted to show this work, Toby.
Well, because if you think he's going easy right now at the start of this workout, then you're going to have to define what he's doing at the end of the workout, because you'll need to come up with a different, more bold superlative. And the key here is this is the end of the series. His training is already done, and I already knew he could run. But you love to see a finishing touch like this. It's going to start right now. Look at the giant hold that this rider has on this horse on the outside. He's absolutely loaded. Look at the shove on the stablemate. On the rail in the blinkers, and it's race over. Look at this horse, full of himself. I get excited when I see this. I don't even care who the horse is. It's one of the things I love to watch, a horse that acts, behaves, and looks like this horse did here today.
If you were excited, Toby, watching that workout, you got to be ecstatic that he's 12-1 on the morning line.
Yeah, well, we can enjoy that right now until we see the opening odds.
You also give a little love to number 5, who is also a first-time starter now from the Phil D'Amato barn, number 5, Milk and Cookies. What do you like about him?
Well, this is that Los Alamitos Phil D'Amato angle again, which keeps on growing, by the way, since we last talked about it. He won last Sunday's stake race from Los Alamitos with Super Shine. And the list before that was growing. Madonna of Laredo, Rosa Parks, Ellen Jorth. He means business when he ships over a live horse. I love looking at the breeding on this horse. He's just bred to be a runner. And just interestingly enough, I happened to meet one of the owners of the Integrity Stable down at Del Mar, and his favorite line is Milk and Cookies. He must have had a lot to do with naming this horse.
Sure did. Toby, a follow-up question for you on the first-time gelding number 2, Lord Dunmore. A lot of players like the first-time gelding angle. Last time out, Lord Dunmore broke from the rail, lost to a really nice John Sadler horse by the name of Flyover, who came back to win, stretching out to 2 turns. Have you seen any of those training track drills for Lord Dunmore since that race in April?
Actually, I have not. And very dark out there at 5 in the morning on that training track when that happens.
That's Ryan's MO, isn't it? Ryan likes to work in the dark.
Yeah, but you know what? You can see the works on the dirt really well. But the training track, for whatever reason, in the dark at 5 o'clock is just, that's it. It's dark. Very hard to see anything.
What about Subic Bay, number 6? Has he been working in the dark on the training track?
No, he is. He's been in the light, and he's definitely, the light is going on for this horse. His 59 workout was legit. He actually finished the work. He's a very quirky horse. He wears a full cup linker for a reason all these months. Still got it on, but now he seems to be behaving himself. And it'll be interesting to see how he handles the transition over to the turf.
One of the only 4-year-old in this field in race number 4. There is one 5-year-old as well, but certainly this time of year, the older horses maybe potentially have an advantage. Race number 5 begins the $2 pick 6. Race 5 is also a split of race number 9 with the same conditions. Those conditions are 6 furlongs in the main track for maiden claiming Calbred. Fillies and mares in for a $50,000 tag. 1 scratch in race 5. Take out the 7, all in the game. Still leaves us with a field of 7. Number 8, Little Boom Boom from the Steve Miotti barn. First time Lasix is the 2-1 morning line favorite. Coming back in off a layoff. Talk to us about race 5, Toby.
Yeah, well, the number 2, Flash That Smile. You're speaking of ages of these maidens, and here's a 5-year-old mare. But I remember last time on the show, we talked about Harris Farms with a first-time starter on that day, and he did everything but win. With that said, to me, this horse's last race makes her a pretty strong play in here. She's got a tremendous speed edge on the field. She's 5 years old. These horses, when they hit 4 and 5 and they're still able to train on in healthy manner, they grow and get stronger. She is by far the biggest, strongest mare in this field, and she's got speed. And Tyler Bays has been hot of late. So a lot going for her. Number 3, Elsa Dutton. Right next to her is a very hard-knocking, honest filly. And they came down the stretch together last time out on Kentucky Derby Day. We'll see. Hopefully Flash That Smile is in front of Elsa Dutton, like I'm hoping down the stretch today.
Need to follow up a question with you, Toby, on the morning line favorite on the bottom, number 8, Little Boom Boom, simply because trainer Steve Miotti does so well off the layoff and also first-time Lasix. What have you seen from her in the morning?
Yeah, well, my partner Donald Harris has a phrase I've borrowed, and it's called "the time tells the story." And just look at the times here, 103 and 4.
Yeah, but it's Steve Miotti. He's a little bit cagey.
Well, that's part of the story. But you have to know that part of the story, I guess. But this is, the angle here is 2 things. Number 1, she's coming off a big layoff, 7 months or 8 months. Number 2, the early 2-year-old form, which we're getting ready to delving into right now, you have to put asterisks by early 2-year-old form because the form of those races changes radically up and down. And to me, she's almost like starting over here. But her running lines look good. And that's obviously why I guess she's 2-1.
Race number 6 begins both the 50-cent late pick 5, as well as the $3 all turf pick 3 with a reduced 15% takeout. And we're coming down the hillside turf course, 6.5 furlongs down the hill for Calbred allowance types non-winners of one other than one scratch the 5. Still leaves us with a good field of 11. Number 7, Anon from the Alexis Barba Barn, is the 7-2 morning line favorite. This is a really good betting race, Toby. Talk to us.
Yeah, well, that scratch of 3 Georges certainly takes speed out of the race. But with that said, I'm going with the 6 Uncle Chili, who flat out went off form in his last 2 races. So therefore, why am I going with him today? Well, his last workout, he had that really glowing sharpness about him. He just seems to come to life. Looks like he's coming back to that sharp effort. And the sharp effort, by the way, was the race 3 back, where he was absolutely flying there under J.J. Hernandez, just ran out of room. If that's the stretch run we get today, then we can get excited at 6-1 here. Mio Bambino has rounded into form, obviously sharp and winning the last race on the turf, a very sharp barn in Andy Mathis. And one of those welcome additions to Southern California here. So he's a sharp horse, and he's already proven he'll run down the hill. His race 2 back, he actually got shuffled on the rail, and he was finishing fastest and ran an eye-catching race on March 23rd. So he's proven 6-12 here in race 6.
Race number 7 is the feature race on today's card. It's the Grade 3 Summertime Oaks. It's for 3-year-old fillies, $100,000 guaranteed as the purse. Going a mile and a 16th on the main track. It also begins the 50-cent late pick 4. 2 scratches in race 7. Number 1, Thought Process, has been declared out of the race, as well as one of the 3 Baffert runners. Number 6, Silent Law, also will not compete. Leaves us with a field of 5, the morning line favorite. Another Bob Baffert runner going sprint to route. Number 7, Cash Call. High hopes for her, but also our Moonlight, daughter of Tappet, is going 2 turns for the first time. Is it between those two, or are you looking for a little bit of a price?
Well, these scratches change the complexion of this race. I mean, not 90%, 100%. Because if you scroll down of the field now, there's a tremendous speed edge to 2 horses. And those 2 horses are the 7 and the 2. They just happen to be trained by Bob Baffert. But I'll tell you what, you have to call the audibles. You have to pivot out here and pivot all the way up to race day. And I'll tell you what, the number 2 filly in here, Hoween, she had a look about her on the racetrack yesterday where she isn't going to be the price that she would have been without these scratches. But I was getting very excited about the way she looked, and her coming up to, I think, her best race now, based on the way she looked on the racetrack yesterday. She's by Gunrunner. She was cut out to be a nice horse. And to me, she's tremendous value now. But Cash Call, to me, deserves the top billing. The 58 and change work, J.J. Hernandez was aboard for that. It speaks for itself. And she's got that good outside cozy draw. She's a big, long striding filly by McKenzie. And we know who else is by McKenzie. Belmont.
You stole my thunder, because I was going to ask you about the sire McKenzie, of course, also the sire of Baeza, who I personally like in the Belmont Stakes. I know it's early in his stallion career, and we remember him as a racehorse, also trained by Bob Baffert. But have you been impressed with the progeny of McKenzie up to this short, limited time period?
You know what? They're Timmy Yakteen, what was the name of the McKenzie?
Johannes?
There was a very, very fast horse that was very fast 2-year-old. Anyway, long story short is that they're showing brilliance and they're showing tremendous speed. They just haven't turned that corner where they keep reaching new plateaus. And we'll see how Cash Call goes into that trend now. This is a big, long striding, rangy filly. McKenzie was a very tight moving horse. And anyway, I do really think there's potential, though, with the stallion, long story short.
It's interesting you mentioned about McKenzie's progeny not taking this next step forward. The same cannot be said for Gunrunner, because as you mentioned, How Win is sired by Gunrunner. Gunrunner, to me, has been one of the more prolific young sires that we have in the country.
Well, that's proven right there at the old bank account where you have to pay to if you want to breed with him.
If you want to date with him.
Right.
Race number 8 begins at $3 late pick 3 with a reduced 15% takeout. This race is 1 mile on the turf course for allowance optional claiming types. Non-winners of 1 other than. There are 3 scratches in race number 8. Take out the 2, Hudson Ridge, the 9, I should say, El Rey, and number 12, Spy Catcher. So the 3 declared out of race number 8 are 2, 9, and 12. The Maury Lane favorite, lukewarm at that on the rail on a 2-race win streak, is number 1, Ottoman Prince from the Phil D'Amato barn. Before I get your thoughts on the race, Toby, ignore Phil D'Amato runners at your own peril the last 30 days or so.
Yep. Just ran into Phil walking into the track here on Wednesday and just tried to warm him up about Del Mar a little bit. And he's doesn't really have that spring to his step, win or lose, but he seemed to be feeling pretty good. And he's got a hard-knocking horse here with Ottoman Prince. That'll be my second choice. I do believe that the 11's stock is going up big time with these scratches. 2 reasons. Now this horse doesn't get the dreaded 11 post. Now the horse is kind of in the 9 post. Big difference. And it should be much easier for him to show off that golden intrinsic speed that he has shown more times than not. So he has I think hopefully the wire-to-wire potential in here. Ottoman Prince has been rock solid, going for 3 in a row. So we're going to go 11 and 1.
Race number 9 begins the $5 late daily double, also with a reduced 15% takeout. As mentioned previously, race 9 is a split of race number 5. That means we're going 6 furlongs on the main track for maiden claiming Calbred fillies and mares in for a $50,000 tag. We've got a field at 8. Number 4, Tropical Rain Day from the Victor Garcia barn is the 3-1 Maury Lane favorite. Toby, you wanted to show a workout for the comeback filly on the rail. Number 1, Prize Conquest, taking a drop down in class for trainer Tim McCanna. First time Lasix as well, courtesy of our friends at firsttv.com. Let's watch the workout back on May 31st, I should say. It was a workout on the main track, breaking out of the gate. If we have that workout, okay, I just got whispered in my ear that we don't have that workout, unfortunately, Toby. So we're going to rely on you to verbally tell us how impressive that workout was, because I watched it, and you talked about the other workout earlier today. This one, in my opinion, was even better.
Well, relatively speaking, it was a lot more intense. There's a different intensity working 47 and change out of the gate versus 102, like the workout we showed earlier. But the beauty of First TV is I've got it all fresh in my mind. I'll replay it for you right now. Breaks out of the gate. He's outside a horse called Thea. They're going head and head down the backside. That's all steady. The key to the workout was on the turn. This horse caught her stride. And she did it for a 3-year-old filly at this level. She did it with a little extra. Now, that should be enough to make her triple live in this race, because as a rule, this condition of fillies, you don't have to run a big number or a figure or whatever to win this type of race. So that gate drill is very key. And we note the Lasix for today's race. And I love the barn Tim McCanna. Last time I remember talking about Grubauer, saying that perhaps he had the best workout of the meet. I'll stand by it, because, boy, he did everything but win. And this is a very sharp outfit, Tim McCanna, and I'm delighted to have him here in Southern California. Big price on this horse. Tropical Rain Day. Very interesting filly here. Patrick Valenzuela, who we talked about a couple of weeks ago, he's been aboard Tropical Rain Day 5 or 6 times, working her out. And she is very sharp right now. My question on her is she going to need the leg up run? If she doesn't, she's a big-time win candidate. She's a much improved filly than what we see on paper here right now. So 1 and 4 and another very nice betting race here in race 9.
Toby, we worked out the technical gremlins, and rather than listen to your description, let's actually watch it for our eyes, specifically the workout for your top selection in race number 9. That's number 1, Prize Conquest. As mentioned, this is a workout on May 31st. That's Prize Conquest on the outside in the white helmet. It might be repetitive, but tell us again why you like this work so much.
So now I'm just hoping everything I said was true. No, okay.
I know it was true.
This is okay. Now you're under the gun. All right, well, showed the good speed. I didn't mention that, so we'll add that to the recipe. Getting in front. This horse on the inside is a good workhorse, by the way, Thea. Thea, I believe it is. And look at the difference. All out shove on the rail there on Thea. And look at the hands and the elbows on the rider. This is where we get to the turn of what I was talking about. This right here on the turn, where he's just nudging the horse, and this horse is picking it up all on her own. And right there, you see a nice little 47-1 go up on the clock. If it said 49, I'd still really like the work. But when it says 47-1, I really have to like the work. All things considered, good, healthy gallop out, clear, no signs of slowing down, as they say. And there you have it. So now it's official.
And the exercise rider took her out a few paths at the top of the turn as well, amplifying the impressiveness of that workout. We close out today's excellent 10-race card in race 10, offering $1 super high five wagering. We're traveling 1 mile on the turf course for maiden special weight fillies and mares. A couple of scratches in this race. Scratch the 9, Time to Shine, as well as one of the also eligibles. Number 14, Gladly, has been declared out of the race. However, number 13, Rehearsal, does draw into the body of the field, make the jockey Abel Lascano. The morning line favorite is number 12, Church Lady, from the Phil D'Amato barn at 3-1. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Toby, you wanted to show a workout for number 11, Edge of Molly, who is making her United States debut. She has one effort so far overseas. Here she is. She's the trailer in the workout right now, not wearing blinkers. She's going to loop her workmate and basically outfinish her pretty impressively. Why do you want to show this work back from May 16th?
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, they're looking for answers in this work. Jeff Mullins, the trainer. Antonio Frezu is in the saddle here for this workout. He's in the saddle for the race, and they want some answers right here. This is what a lot of people try to simulate. You put the horse behind, and let's see what she's got. Okay, so they let the horse through, and he's not going to go through. He's just going to go to the outside because she's so full of run, probably didn't want to run over the horse. And again, this speaks for itself right here. Look at the giant hold. Made that immediate turn of foot. That's what wins a turf race. So this is all you wanted to see for this workout right here.
Edge of Molly is 6-1 on the morning line. As we take a look at your graphics for the race, that's your top choice. Number 2, Auntie, is 10-1 on the morning line. What do you like about her?
Well, she ran an eye-catching race in her first in her debut effort, where she was boxed, broke very slowly, very rank, and then had that run and kind of had that eye-catching finish. Last time out, she really didn't repeat that race, but I will say this. She got slammed at the start, and at that point, you could say there's all the excuse you need right there. Now she's going to stretch out. She's by Uncle Mo out of a Frankel mare on the breeding side of things. She's got Michael McCarthy, who by this point in the day will be watching this race, I'm sure, but he'll be watching this race with an emotion that we want to try to figure out right now.
Well, hopefully it'll be a positive emotion, Toby. It's always a positive emotion when you join me on set for the seminar. Before I cut you loose, one more wager to consider. It's the $1 Coast to Coast Pick 5. Have you seen the competitiveness of these races? Outstanding Pick 5 sequence today, beginning with Gulfstream Park, race number 9. 2:13 p.m. Pacific time is first post. 15% tag out. Wager always pays well. Toby, again, thanks so much for your time and insight. Really a pleasure to have you on the set. Best of luck with all your selections today. Hopefully we'll do it again real soon.
You betcha.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great Belmont Stakes Day here at the Great Race Place. Have a great afternoon and good luck.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and once again, welcome to the Great Race Place, Santa Anita Park. At this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your caps, and welcome the Santa Anita Trio as they perform our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, the Santa Anita Trio. Welcome to a Saturday in Arcadia, California, and welcome to Santa Anita Park. We're just 28 minutes out from race number 1. An excellent card planned for you today, including the feature race, the Summertime Oaks. I'd like to welcome our simulcast partners to the broadcast here today. Fans joining us from all across North America and all across the world, dialed in to Southern California horse racing. The weather is beautiful. The main track is fast. The turf course is firm. And with that in mind, and if you have your programs handy, here are the program changes for today's races. First race, first half of the early daily double, starting leg of the 50-cent early pick 5. Race 1 on the turf. The rail is out at 0 feet today. No changes to start the day. Today's second race starts the 50-cent early pick 4. No changes there. Third race welcomes the Cal Portland Truck Rodeo Championship. There are no changes in race 3. Turn your programs to race 4. The fourth race on the turf at 6 furlongs. Scratch the 1, N2 Honor Bro. That's 1, N2 Honor Bro withdrawn. Number 10, High Plains Drifter is scratched. Scratch the 10, High Plains Drifter. There's an overweight for number 12, San Andreas, 2 pounds over the listed weight. Go now to race number 5. Race 5 at 6 furlongs. In the fifth race, number 4, Sexy Blue, change of equipment, goes with blinkers off. Blinkers off the 4, scratch the 7, all in the game. That's the 7, all in the game, withdrawn from race number 5. Race 6, down the hill at 6.5 furlongs. We start the all-turf pick 3 with this race. In race number 6, number 1, the Shillelagh is 2 pounds over. Scratch number 5, 3 Georges. Number 11, Papa Loves Vegas, change of equipment. He goes with blinkers on. Blinkers on the 11, then 1 is 2 over. Scratch the 5. Those changes in race 6 to start today's late pick 5. Seventh race is the co-feature of the day, the Summertime Oaks, grade 3 runners at a trip of 1.16 miles. In race 7, scratch the 1, Thought Process, and scratch number 6, Silent Law. 1 and 6 withdrawn from race number 7. Eighth race on turf to start the late pick 3. In the eighth race, scratch number 2, Hudson Ridge. Number 5, Guy Named Joe, change of equipment, goes with blinkers off. Scratch 9, El Ray Ray. Scratch 12, Spy Catcher. That's 2, 9, 12 withdrawn from the 8th. Ninth race at 6 furlongs. In today's ninth race, we kick off the late daily double with an overweight on number 1, Prize Conquest, 1 pound over the listed weight. 10th and final race over the turf course at a 1-mile trip. Number 1, Miss Artois. Change of equipment, goes with blinkers on, carries 1 pound over the listed weight. Number 9, Time to Shine, scratched. We also have changes of equipment on 4 and 5. The 4 and 5 both go with blinkers on. Scratch the 9, Time to Shine. Number 10, Kitty Marin, is 2 pounds over the listed weight. Number 13, Rehearsal, a change of jockey. Make the jockey Abel Lescano. Abel Lescano rides 13, Rehearsal, who draws in. Take out the 14, Gladly. 14 withdrawn from race 10. Those are your changes as they stand at this time. We remind you with the 10-race format, the pick 6 begins with race number 5. Race 6 starts your turf pick 3 here this afternoon, and it's Saturday, so take a trip with us to Overlay City in the form of a first racing coast-to-coast pick 5. Coast to Coast Pick 5 brings you racing right here from Santa Anita Park, mixed in with 2 races from Southern Florida's Gulfstream Park, races 9 and 11 from Hallandale Beach, and races 5, 6, and 8 here in Arcadia. That makes up the 5-race sequence, the Coast to Coast Pick 5, the best bet in racing. Play it today. It's a $1 minimum. That sets the scene for the Saturday in Southern California. We're 24 minutes out from race number 1. Wagering windows open on all levels. The main track fast. The turf course firm. Certainly glad to have you with us. We hope you have an enjoyable afternoon at the races, and good luck today.